For me, I love posting family lifestyle. I feel like that's what people are attracted to. Couple stuff, kid stuff. Hey, guess what? It's the Thursday and I get to take my kids to the local park, right? Most people are working a 9 to 5, but guess what? Last minute, we get to go have lunch. So I post that kind of stuff, things that attract people, couples.
Welcome to MLM Nation, a podcast of leaders, by leaders, for leaders, hosted by Simon Chan. He's built a team of over 200,000 and is now a full-time MLM coach and trainer. So if you're ready to level up your business, join us now. Let's do this.
MLM Nation, this is Simon Chan, and I'm fired up to bring our special guest today. We have Nathan and Samantha Gaines. Hey, Nathan and Samantha, are you ready to make it happen?
We're ready.
Yes, we are.
Nathan and Samantha Gaines got married at 21 years old, and then Nathan shortly had to leave for Army boot camp. And then he soon realized he had to be deployed every 6 months. And it was at this time they were introduced to network marketing. Nathan and Samantha struggled for 4 years before they had that breakthrough. Today, they're full-time entrepreneurs with multiple businesses, and network marketing being one of their favorite things to do because of the positive impact they're making on others. So Nathan and Samantha, welcome to MLM Nation. I've given everyone a brief intro, but take us more to your background. During that time when you were in the military, who introduced you to network marketing? How did you get involved?
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on. We're super, super excited. Like you said, Nathan and I actually got married at 21. But we met when we were 8. So we've known each other pretty much our entire life. So we met in 4th grade, started dating when we were like 12, and then he was hooked ever since, right? No, but
That's right.
it's crazy as, we got married really young and we didn't know anything. All we knew was we were young and in love and we wanted to be together. And Nathan joined the military and immediately, he was gone for 9 months of training. We reunited, moved cross country to North Carolina, and immediately he was told you're going to be deployed every 6 months on a 6-month rotation. And it kind of felt like a gut punch, right? Like it felt like,
Absolutely.
for being 21 and you're like this young, newly married couple, like our world was just crumbling and we knew nothing about what we wanted to do. And it's crazy is I, for whatever reason, decided to go adopt a dog because that's what you do when your husband's going to get deployed.
And if I can pause you right there, when we first got to the duty station, she just drove 5 days to meet us in North Carolina. Hadn't seen each other in 9 months. And I get to the team room and they say, "Hey, son, send your wife back. You'll be in Afghanistan in 2 weeks." And that was like, so not only is the rotation going to be every 6 months, your first one's going to be in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that was gut wrenching. And if there was ever, it was like putting a magnifying glass on what are we going to do? Like, what is it we are going to do? Is this going to be the career path? Are you going to go in the Q course and become a Green Beret and all that we had set out to do? Or are we going to make a pivot? And if we're going to call a play, now's the time to do it when we're in the very beginning steps of it.
Yeah. And so we went to go adopt a dog. And it's crazy as a guy walked up to us and shook our hand and said, "Hey, what do you guys do for work?" And we're like, my husband's in the military, is about to deploy. And he's like, "You have to come over to my house, meet my wife. You'll have a friend. And I got to show you what we're doing." Right. So I didn't want to go. Immediately, I thought stranger danger, everything I've been told my whole life. I'm about to go to a stranger's house. And so we did go. And it's crazy as that's where they start talking about network marketing, about how you can have time and money freedom with your family, about you don't have to clock in and clock out. And they told us there was a big event coming. And I don't know if you want to share a little bit about that.
And you know what? The power of driving a big event is so powerful, because if this gentleman had not done that, our lives would not have been changed. If he didn't overcome every excuse we had in the book about making it happen. And it was amazing because the deployment I was on got pushed back by like 2 weeks. And so I just happened to be able to make it to this event. And so we drive from North Carolina to Cleveland, Ohio. The event is at the Cleveland Cavaliers Stadium. There's about 20,000 people there. We drive about 9 hours to get there.
And even before that, I should add this, is we didn't have the money to go. And I did not want to go. And I drive up home one day and I see my husband outside having a garage sale. And he's selling our TV. He's selling our brand new lawnmower his mom had got him for our wedding, our couch. And I'm like, what on earth?
All of it
is happening right now? And Nathan's like, we're going to a big event. And that was a fun little moment. But we did go, and it's so cool because at this event, we know nothing about network marketing, and they're talking about their marriages, like traveling the world together, and their kids going with them, and their kids wanting to learn how to speak Spanish. So they take them to Mexico for 4 weeks. And my mind was literally blown. Like, what are we doing? What did we miss the boat? I felt like, and we're only 21, but.
Yeah, for 2.5 days, these people are talking about entrepreneurship, freedom, leadership, being a person of purpose, being a person of impact. And that was something I would say, struggled with growing up, is what's my purpose? Being someone who's very mission driven, just naturally, for whatever reason, it's just the way I am. So I'm always trying to figure out what's the purpose, what's my role here. Yeah. And if there was any confusion about what I was supposed to do in life, we got extremely clear at that event. What you could do for yourselves in terms of having time and money freedom, what you could do for other people, the relationships you could build, the quality of life, the impact in other people's lives. And we were hooked. And so 2 weeks later, I was in Afghanistan, read my first book here, which is Think and Grow Rich. I was given by the gentleman who invited us. He gave me this in a stack of books. Read Think and Grow Rich, and I'll say this and turn it back to you. But the first time showing the plan, we were actually, I was on deployment. We were in the chow hall, me and this other gentleman. And, I've got the welcome binder that I'm reading him through, right? Because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I got this welcome binder. So I'm going to show him this. And the alarms start going off, meaning that there's bad guys shooting mortars at us or something, right? There's alarms going off. But so the guy's like, hey, we got to go, man. We got to go to a bunker, go somewhere, right? And I was so adamant about finishing this welcome binder. I was like, hey, man, it'll be okay. We got to just finish this conversation. So from day one, it was all in, no matter what, doesn't matter what it takes, because freedom's real, and that's the name of the game.
So when you went to that event, were you did you join already, or you were about to join before you went to the event?
We were about to join, right? Because that was like our first event. And then immediately we went to, what was it called? An info session. And we got started right after that.
And so obviously you have a huge desire, focus, but you still struggled for 4 years. Now a lot of people, it's because they take it as like a hobby, but you went all in and still struggled for 4 years. Why? Looking back, why did you struggle?
Yeah. So, that is, it's crazy is I actually feel like it was longer than 4 years we struggled, but I think we were so sold on the dream of seeing what all these people had in their life. And so we knew it existed, and we felt like if it existed for them, why couldn't it exist for us? And so, in network marketing, we got really good at personal development. And for us, it was continuously changing how we thought and who we were becoming. We fell in love with that process. And so we just got really sold out on the process. I don't know how else to say it.
I think the easiest way to explain it for me is when you're a prisoner, when you feel like you're in a form of slavery, if you will, all you can think about is freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter how long the duration of you being in prison is. All you can think about is freedom. Yeah. So there was nothing that was going to cause us not to be free. It doesn't matter how long it took. Doesn't matter what the work activity needed to be. Yeah. Doesn't matter what we needed to do, where we needed to go. But the desire to be free is the only thing that matters. Because what's the alternative? Yeah. Trade time for money my entire life.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But for me, that wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So what were some of the mistakes you made? Why did you were stuck in there?
I would say one of our biggest mistakes is we quit our job right away. Well, one of us did. And so when Nathan got out of the military, he's decided, hey, I'm going to quit my job. I'm just going to go all in with prospecting. And that was really tough. It's hard to build a business in a place of scarcity, right? So it's very, very challenging. And I think I'm thankful for everything we learned, but I think that would probably, I would say, would be one of the toughest things, or
it was the most difficult for sure, because I had gotten out of the military, and it's not that I quit my job. It's just my contract was up,
yeah,
and my contract was over. But What I didn't do is I didn't go get another job. I figured I would drive for Uber and Lyft all day. That way it put me in front of more people, because there was nothing social media at that time. No one was talking about anything social media that we knew of.
Yeah.
And so everything was go out in the marketplace, shake hands, Target, grocery stores.
Yeah.
And so I thought, hey, Uber and Lyft is the best way I can get in front of people, keep talking to them about what I'm doing, keep prospecting. And although that was a decent strategy for that, I guess, I was making between $60 to $80 a day doing that, which is that for sure was the worst financial decision I had ever made, was not getting a job, putting us in a very difficult financial situation while we were building our business.
And we were getting, it was so tough at times. We're getting sued by credit cards, and for me, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we've been married now for quite a few, 4 years. 4 years. And we're out prospecting every single day, from the time he would pick me up from work, 5 p.m. to 9, 10 p.m. at night. And I'm getting sued by credit cards. I can't pay my rent. I can barely eat, and so I would say that was probably one of the toughest or mistakes, I guess.
Biggest mistake. Have income coming in while you're building your business, no doubt. Especially with technology today, you can do both, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
No, I always teach like the 3 biggest mistakes in network marketing. Number 1 is quitting right away, right? Number 2 is getting to management mode. And number 3 is going full-time too early, because when you're scarce, then you become desperate and you lose that posture. And then you just, most people don't need more time, they need better time management. So with your 4 years, you're struggling. What was the turning point? What was the breakthrough that things finally started happening?
Yeah. So the breakthrough was we weren't doing well for quite a while, and we got offered to go through a program to own a franchise. Before, when we were like 18 to 21 years old, we actually helped run a Chick-fil-A, and we helped scale it pretty big. And then Nathan went to the military. So the owner of the store loved us. He was like, you guys are a young couple, you're entrepreneurs, come own a franchise. So he pitched us, hey, I'll relocate you. I'll give you guys really good salaries. I'll give you benefits. Stop struggling, come back to California. You'll be by your family. And at this time, I'm thinking, I want to have kids one day, right? I don't want to be broke anymore. And a franchise, that's just like network marketing, right? You're running your own business. That was a tough season. We decided to move back. My husband,
I did not want to do that at all. I did not
want to do that, but I had said, hey, I went with you in the military. We've been working our butts off with no results. Like, let's pivot. Like, it's my turn. Can you just try to pivot? So we moved back to California. We go through this program with Chick-fil-A. And after 2 weeks, I look at him and I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to quit. I just was coached by millionaires telling me you could be anything you want in life. But I come back to this business and I'm like, I don't feel like I'll be able to have no limit on my income. I'll be able to really experience freedom at the highest level. And so we quit and we start looking at other options, and we get introduced to an insurance company. So we start building with them. His cousin.
Network marketing insurance.
Network marketing insurance. Yeah. And I think at this time we're 26, 27.
No, we were younger than that.
Okay. Somewhere around this time frame. And so we get plugged in, and his cousin, who's like really, really big in the company, moves out to this area and is like, I'm going to help you build. And for us, you could probably dive more into it. That was the major turning point for us.
That season of life is where we got really good in our game. That was, so we did that for about 4 years. In that window of time, we recruited a couple thousand people out of that office, opened up a couple offices, promoted, some we call them insurance brokers, people who own their own office, that kind of thing. And that's where our skill set got really, really, really good, because it was, and that type of a product has to continue to be sold, right? Insurance, things like that. You have to continue closing deals, or you have to have people on your team who are continuously closing deals. And the reason why we stopped doing that, long story short, is because of that type of nature. We wanted something that was going to give us more residual income, time and money freedom. We're willing to go all in. We're willing to do the work. Yeah. But, 4 years of 6, 7 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, 6 days a week. And then you look at folks who maybe are making $1 million a year, and they're in the office just as much as you are, because you have to continue to motivate your team to close deals, or there's no income. we figured, hey, there's got to be simpler ways where you can create residual income.
Yeah.
And we found that to be true, whether it be different products or different, just the insurance world was not going to be the only option.
Yeah. You said your cousin was a big timer. It came in to help you build. What are some of the things, and then you learned to do it the right way? What are some things you learned from your cousin?
Oh man, so insane work ethic. He's a Gaines, and the Gaines people have a very relentless and tenacious drive and work ethic, and it runs in my family, and so he's very much that way, and it's extremely inspiring. Another thing I would say is he introduced us to the field training concept, where it's like a three-legged stool. You have you, the prospect, and the professional, and you can really help people get results fast by booking field training appointments.
And I would say actually what I learned was how to build something from nothing, because there was nothing when he moved out here but me and Nathan. Nathan and I were like, hey, we have experience in network marketing. You know, the product was kind of lotion potion kind of stuff. So we're looking for something that everybody could use. And so that's really all we knew is we had a dream and we had some skill sets, personal development. And he moved out here and we built everything from our living room. You know, we went from a living room and, you know, where you're meeting in your dining room / coffee shops. And then all of a sudden now we have a little office. And then we went from a little office, now we have a big office. So I think it was learning how do you build something from nothing. I think that would be
exactly
what I learned.
You said the field training is what? Like you the upline actually takes the downline and then you prospect together?
No. So good. That's not actually what I'm meaning. So a brand new person gets started, and more times than not, they're afraid to reach out to their warm connections, right? There's a learning curve between them getting started and being comfortable talking to their people about it. So to eliminate that, you set up a field training appointment. That's where the brand new person, let's say, you know, you just got recruited to the team, you have your aunt, uncle, family, friends. And what we're going to do is we're going to reach out to those people and book a field training appointment. And in a field training appointment, the new person gets experience and exposure on how a professional talks about who we are, what we do. They see the presentation. They take notes on how the conversation's going, any objections, how to close, right? And then it also allows the new person to expose their warm market, what they're doing to their warm market without having to be skilled to do all that. And so in a field training appointment, it's great because I'm borrowing the new person's personal credibility with that guest, with that prospect. They're borrowing my business credibility, and that gives you an incredible opportunity to inform somebody. And
it's very hands off. It's all set around the preface of this is for your training, right? So you bring a notebook and a pen and take notes. I'm going to show you, but kind of by default, you're showing your business. You know, I mean, you are
right.
So.
Got it. So like if you say like I'm going to prospect together, I may be scared I'm not going to show up, right? Because I'm not ready yet. But if you say do a field training, I'll attend. And then during the field training, we're prospecting and learning at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so we've recruited hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that way. We've sold lots and lots and lots of insurance with those field training appointments.
Another thing you talked about was attraction marketing. Right. So for those who don't know, I mean, I've been talking about it. What do you mean by attraction marketing, and how has it helped you?
Exactly. So it's funny because and this was, I would say, the biggest learning thing, however you want to say that. It's the biggest thing we've learned and biggest thing we would adjust if we had to start the whole thing over. And that's utilizing systems, utilizing automations, right? Most times in MLM and network marketing, you're taught to go out there and hunt, and you're just hunting all day, every day. And that's fantastic, but there are better ways to do that, right? So what attraction marketing is you creating valuable content that you put out on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and you build a community around the problems that you're solving with your content. People engage and interact with it, and you have funnel systems in place where they can enroll themselves to an appointment on your calendar, or they can enroll themselves to an appointment with you. And then, or in the product itself without you even having doing anything. And
even things like, you know, my personal page is all about fitness, you know, CrossFit. And it's crazy. It's just posting consistently about what I like what I do. People are attracted to that. So people start saying like, oh my gosh, you like fitness. Oh my gosh, you're into the same things. You're a mom. Oh my gosh, wait, it looks like you guys have time to go work out together. That's kind of different. And so all of a sudden they're attracted to the lifestyle that I'm posting and like reels or videos. And so now they're reaching out to me. They're asking me like, hey, what do you do? Hey, how do you do that? Instead of always me reaching out to them. It's just a totally different concept that in the beginning really wasn't an option. Social media wasn't as big. Reels weren't a thing. You can reach hundreds of thousands in 30 seconds, so
yeah,
for sure.
Different. Yeah.
And for ML Nation, for those who are watching and are listening here, Nathan and Samantha are not in the health company, right? So, and she's doing exercise. So the stuff you're posting doesn't necessarily need to be related to what product and service you're selling, but what they're doing is they're attracting people who want their lifestyle.
Yep.
And that creates conversations. So if someone was going to get, you talk about funnel systems in place, what do you mean by that? Just like a link for them to schedule calls with you? What do you mean by that?
So we're I love CRMs. I love systems. So when he says funnel system, it's creating the option. And I guess we'll start with even like an Instagram, right? There's the ability to see like a button you click at the top, right? Your bio, link tree. Someone clicks it, they find something that they like that they get from you for free. You could say that you add value. And what that does is it now puts them into a funnel where they're now getting, emails or they're getting marketing from me. And I can track all of it through a CRM system. So, there's different types of, there's a prospect. They're going through a funnel system based off things that they've clicked, things that they like. There's emails, there's reminders that's all automated that I created way back when, before they even looked at this video. And then there's the other side of it of people that are already in business with me that are going through a funnel where, I mean, we all know this. Somebody gets started. What do they have to do in the first 24 to 48 hours? They got to have a fast start. They have to get started to have a fast launch. And so all of those little things take time. But what if you got started and the day you got started, the system knew that and it now instantly sent you a message to schedule. And then when you click the link to schedule, that triggers something else to happen. And then this triggers. So it's a funnel for both sides of prospects and for people that are already getting started. Makes sense.
So what's a freebie you offer right now, like when people can get into your funnel?
So we have different like events that are happening that are free for people. So we're posting the links as the events happen. And so there's like a wealth dominance event.
Building seminars.
Correct.
Mindset seminars.
Yep. And so I kind of change it based off that. And then also we're kind of working on a couple other little things for Nathan that.
You get ebook, basic, a basic training.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, ML Nation, head over to mlnation.com, click on the show notes page, and I'll put the links to Nathan and Samantha's social media profiles. And the best way to learn the attraction marketing is to follow them. Follow them and see what freebies, what events, what ebooks they're giving out. And then you can actually be in the funnel and see what they're doing. So head over to mlnation.com and definitely follow Samantha and Nathan. I know you know this is important. Consistency. Obviously, you're very consistent. You have the work ethic. But consistency is not easy. What do you do to stay consistent?
It's all about having it's two things. It's getting very clear on what you want to accomplish. Like, what is the goal? What is the thing that we're working on? And then it's having a dream routine, having something that you do every single day, every week, that is going to ensure the accomplishment of that dream, of that goal. Right. And so I'm big on everything is routine. So I think practically, how do you do that? So define what it is you want in the different categories of your life. And then what are 2 or 3 habits that you would need to do every single day to make sure that this happened? And then once you've identified those things, the next step is get an accountability partner, get a coach, get a mentor, get somebody that you can check in a couple times a week or once a week or every 2 weeks, whatever it is. And they can hold you accountable to that. Yeah. And then if you can, at the same time, surround yourself with a peer group, not just a coach and a mentor, but immerse yourself in a community of people who are doing those exact same things because they have the same or similar goals to you. The ability to accomplish your goals, it's like a science at that point. It's like, if we just show up, this is what we do, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Here we are. What's the next thing?
And I would add, we're very different people. Nathan's like this bulldog in a China shop kind of thing. Is that the right thing? Or bulldog, whatever it is. But he's just really aggressive. And I'm totally opposite. For me, I want a reward system. So we do 90-day marriage meetings because it's a lot different when you're building it as a couple. We also have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So we have a family. And so it's a lot different than a young couple or than when we were 21 and we could stay out till midnight every single night. We can't do that anymore. And so for us, it's setting 90-day family meetings where we sit down and we're like, what are we trying to accomplish in these next 90 days? What are you willing to do? For example, like, Nathan will say, hey, I'm willing to, in the evenings, I know that I can't be with the girls every single night. So I'm willing to do that like this amount of times of the week. Are you willing to let me go run? Like, we're not going to have friction. And for me, I'm like, yeah, okay, if this is what it's going to require to be consistent for us to hit our goal, I'm willing to let you go run. But on Sunday, like, I need you to be all family, so it's sitting down and like, we're mapping it out so that we can go run, so that we can stay consistent, so that we both know what we're running for. And then also, I think it's including our kids, it's hard to say bye and your kids cry and, they think like you're gone again. And so including our kids, our 4-year-old, I'm like, hey, mommy and daddy are trying to accomplish X, Y, Z. And if we hit this, we'll take you to wherever you want to go. You pick. So my daughter, it's Disneyland. She wants to go to this little Minnie Mouse, or it's like boutique thing where they dress her up. And so, sometimes when it's hard to stay consistent because you feel like, well, crap, like my kid, I have to leave again. I'll tell her, hey, we're doing this so we can go to Minnie Mouse boutique. And she's like, okay, leave. Bye.
Yeah.
Please go. So I think for me, it's having this reward system that we include our family in, and we both are very aligned every 90 days of what we're doing. That helps me stay consistent.
That's very helpful. Really good. I like the family stuff and the planning, right? If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So that's really, really good. You two have been amazing. Thank you so much for the value. As we go towards the end of the show, some quick questions to pick your brain. And these can be quick one sentence. Okay. The first one is, what is one of your favorite success quotes that motivates you?
The quote that motivates me the most is actually from the Navy SEALs. And they say, under pressure, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training.
For me, it's live like no one else, so later you can live like no one else.
What is one habit that's helped you become successful?
Push-ups. I would say personal development, the overall personal development, reading books, audios, devouring content, and then with the goal of duplicating it and teaching it to others.
I agree.
What's the best piece of advice you ever received?
Best for me, it was at a pivotal moment in life. It was right when we had been introduced to our first company. And again, back to, I really struggled with what's my purpose, right? What's the thing in my life I'm supposed to do? And the guy said, Nathan, you've been asking yourself the wrong question all these years. You've been trying to take this big, complex thing called your life and fit it into a job description. There's not a job description that's big enough to be able to contain your life. What you ought to do is take a pen and a paper and design what you want your life to look like. Then you can go find a way to create that. And that completely shifted my thinking of, what job should I have? What career should I do? There's not a career out there for me outside of building people and being free.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's so basic, but it's, look at the person at the top. And if you don't want their lifestyle, don't do that. And for me, I've kind of set my whole life on that because especially with the company we're with now, I love the marriages they have. I love the relationship with the kids they have. I love the time they have, the business they have. And we were going to go all in somewhere. I just wanted to know what it would look like when you hit that.
What's your favorite prospecting tool? So say you have a qualified prospect and they're interested. Do you sit down with them one-on-one? Do you send them a video first? Do you get on Zoom? What do you like to use?
I'll send a 3-minute video and then jump on either a phone call or a Zoom call with them shortly after, right after or within 12 hours.
Yep.
Is that a personal video or a company video?
Company video.
What's your favorite app that's on your phone that's not a social media app?
Favorite app on my phone is our company's online academy.
Mine is the CRM system because it has everything in my life that I could use on there. Pipeline, contacts, funnels, website, emails, text, everything. It's my life.
What are 2 or 3 books you could recommend to ML Nation?
My favorite 2 books is Love and Respect, because I feel like especially if you're married, You really can't go win big at any level if you can't figure out the first part, which is your marriage. Your marriage impacts every single area of your life. And so for me, love and respect, and then Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I love that. That was my favorite business book.
Absolutely. For me, I would say Think and Grow Rich. It was the first book I ever read in business. And the second one I would say is The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy.
Oh, that's awesome. That is like a classic. That's an old school one. That was actually one of my first books and audios I listened to that helped me teach me how to sell. Way back in the day. It's really good. Wow. Really, really good. I think I listened to like 20, 30 times nonstop on my MP3 player back in the day. iPod Shuffle.
That's incredible.
Did it myself. Here's the last question. The $1 million question. You ready?
Yep.
Ready.
So imagine you had to start all over again. You didn't even know each other. You knew no one, but you had all your current knowledge, skills, and wisdom. What's the first thing you do or the first place you go to build a network marketing business from scratch?
For me, the first place I would go, it's Facebook. I feel like I know how to prospect. Like you can drop me in the middle. Well, maybe you couldn't drop me in the forest because I wouldn't have my phone. But if you give me social media, I could go meet 100 new people within 24 to 48 hours and build a team. That'd be me.
What type of people would you go? Look for on Facebook?
When I go, I look for married couples. So that's just what I do. But.
For sure. Married couples. So very first thing I would do is reach out to 100 people as fast as possible, whether it's via social media, in person. I would just reach out to a group of 100 people. And then I would install.
Where would you meet? You don't know anyone. So where would you meet? Where these 100 people come from?
I would go to the local grocery store. I'd go to the local Target. I would go to anywhere that was local to me and shake hands while I'm out and about doing my thing. But what I would be very, very aggressive in, what I would do more of is social media, right? Direct messages, engaging with people, and just building relationships that way. But also start to attracting people, put content out there that creates value so people engage with you and you can have conversations that way.
Yep. What type of content would you post?
For me, I love posting family lifestyle. I feel like that's what people are attracted to. Couple stuff, kid stuff. Hey, guess what? It's the Thursday and I get to take my kids to the local park, right? Most people are working a 9 to 5, but guess what? Last minute, we get to go have lunch. So I post that kind of stuff, things that attract people, couples.
For me, what my favorite topic of all time is high performance and building high performing sales teams. And so it would probably be around the psychology of selling. It would be around the subconscious and the self-image and maybe some stuff from psycho-cybernetics, just the science of achievement overall, and helping people overcome limiting beliefs and take action now.
That's awesome. But how old are you guys, by the way?
31. Actually,
I just turned 32 this month.
Really good. You're talking about psycho-cybernetics. That's really good. And you know about Brian Tracy. You definitely know your personal development. That's really good.
Thank you.
But that's all like old school stuff. Like I found a lot of the new generation, they just know the new stuff. They don't know the old stuff. But those are classics. I'll put the links on the show notes. Hey, as we wrap up, any last words of advice? And then what's the best way our listeners can connect with you?
Yeah, I think the best advice I would give is trust the process, fall in love with the process, and don't get emotionally attached to the results.
Exactly. The other thing I would say to that is along with take action, because that's like obviously the ground floor. Nothing happens without taking action. The other thing is incorporate systems and automations into your business so that you can be effective on doing the main thing, which is building people, right? And closing deals. So if you can automate all the stuff that doesn't need to be you manually doing it, then do that. So you can save yourself time and be more efficient at what you're doing.
Yep.
And what's the best way our listeners and viewers can connect with you?
Yep. Instagram for me, it's the Gaines Life. It's mine.
Yep. Instagram, Nathan J. Gaines. You can also find me on Facebook. Both of us, well. Nathan Gaines, Samantha Gaines.
Hey, ML Nation, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And today, you've been hanging with 2 of them, a power couple, Nathan and Samantha Gaines. So make sure you keep up that momentum. Head over to mlnation.com, click on the podcast tab, go to the show notes, and links to their social media profiles will be there. Definitely go and connect and follow them. And in order to be successful in life, in business, and network marketing, you must help others. So Nathan and Samantha, thanks again for sharing your valuable time with MLM Nation. We're grateful to you, and we appreciate you for having a positive impact on millions of distributors worldwide. Thank you so much again, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, MLM Nation, Simon Chan. Quick recap here from a great show from Nathan and Samantha Gaines. First thing I want to share is the energy, right? All leaders I know, I was just sharing this, have high energy. Now, that doesn't mean they have to be a serve, go, go, go. Like Nathan's like the bull in the China shop. Samantha's like, much softer, but they're all high energy and they're excited, right? If you're not excited, if you don't have high energy, your energy level, why would people join you, right? We talk about a lot about attraction marketing instead of chasing people, putting out content that comes to you. By the way, if you don't know, if you're struggling with that, I have a free digital boot camp. I'll teach you how. Just reach out to me. I'll also put the link in the show notes page. You can get it on mlnation.com. That'll help you out. Now, in the show, I think I love this, that it's actually kind of interesting. Like they knew each other 8 years old. They love birds and they just got married, right? But they struggled for 4 years in the business. And I think you always have to look at the alternative, right? I think that what Nathan said was really good was that you think of freedom. Even though the alternative would be go back, you get a job and quote unquote be a slave or not live the life you want, right? But instead, we get to create freedom. And you have to fall in love with the process. It may take time for them. It took 4 years. And it's up and downs, but they knew that there's nothing replaces working for yourself, right? Our profession. Average people, they never went to college, able to make it happen. And this personal development that you learn. And I like when they shared that, it reminded me, because I was pretty young when I got started too. It's like you stayed in there because you fall in love with the process of who you're becoming. The personal development, the business, if you become coachable, your thinking will change. And when I realized my thinking changed because of my mentors, because of the profession, because of personal development, I was like, man, I am become a better person. I'm becoming a more successful person. I don't have the results yet, but eventually it will come. And generally when it comes is when you're least expecting it. And for me, that was least expecting it. Someone that was like a party friend that used to just drink all the night party became a big time leader, right? Never expected it. So fall in love with the process, stay consistent with it. I love how Nathan talked about the routines. Routines create consistency. And also, Samantha talked about a routine. It was like a family routine, right? Having that family routine, family planning, because if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail, and making sure everyone is on the same page. There's a lot of golden nuggets there. A lot of stuff here, the breakthroughs, the 3-legged stool, the field training, that's basically a 3-way call. So when someone's new, they may be worried on what to do. They're scared. But what's the best way to learn? Is to watch someone, right? That's the best way to train someone, is having a downline. Watch you do. Because that is how we learn. That's how we learn in school. That's how we learn at our jobs, by watching a supervisor, watching a manager do it. Awesome training, awesome nuggets there. Posting content, it's a big nugget. Go follow them, Samantha and Nathan. I'll put the link in the show notes page. Just head over to mlnation.com. But you don't necessarily need to be sharing stuff related to your product and service. It could be anything. And for her, it's the lifestyle, it's the exercising, and that creates conversations, right? Social media, purpose of social media is not to sell, it's to create conversations. And from those conversations, they can lead to prospects, and then they can lead to customers or people in your team. Anyway, great show there. Love the tenacity, the discipline, the focus. And like I said, fall in love with the process. Divorce yourself from the results. The emotional attachment is really important. If you get emotionally attached, then it's going to be challenging, right? And taking the action, consistent action every single day. I love the show. Go follow me. By the way, I'm out of here. There's so many stuff I can talk about, but I think you're going to learn most by copying what top leaders do. Go follow Samantha and Nathan. And also make sure they have two young kids, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. They took their valuable time to get on to share with you. Yeah, now me as well. So make sure you follow them and also subscribe to the show. Subscribe to on the podcast player. Subscribe to Spotify and Apple. Subscribe to us on YouTube. I really appreciate it. That's the least you can do. Hey, that's what I have. Now it's over to you. Go take action on what you learned and go out there have a positive impact on someone's life. God bless you all.